Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this edition of Yorkville Sports. You're in the nest, the Eagles Nest, and I'm your host, Joe Patrick. Well, today, as promised, we're going to bring in Clark Wright. We're going to make him materialize like an abracadabra thing and everything. He wasn't here last week. He hasn't been here all year. So he's going to come in and tell us about how his team is doing and just tell us about what's going on around the Yorkville Travel Eagles world. So when we return, Clark Wright. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and as promised, here he is, Clark Wright. Clark hasn't been here all year. I don't know. It seems like he was running from us, but we managed to corral him and lasso him and bring him back here or something. Clark, how you doing?
It's great to be back.
All right, there you go.
I missed it. I missed it too much. That's why I'm back.
Man, well,
Joe's over here being such a big timer, you know.
Oh gosh, here we go, hamming it up.
He gets these big contracts from ESPN. He's working with Alex Rodriguez. He doesn't even need me around anymore. So you know what? I said, Joe, I need to get back on the show. And he realized, need the big dog back on the show.
You know what I'm saying? It's the big diesel over here. Anyway, Clark, it's been all year. I haven't seen you all year. So just tell me, bring us up to speed. How you doing? How's the team doing?
Team's doing very well. We started out 0-2.
Okay.
Because we played the first place team, and they're 11-1 right now. And we'll be facing them in the playoffs this weekend. So we started out 0-2, and we've never lost, a series with out of 2 games. We never had 2 losses. So for our boys, they're like, "What's going on here?" And then the game after that, we lost again. So we started the season 0-3.
Wow.
0-3. But since then, 9-game winning streak.
Ah, there you go. That's
What's
bringing
up?
it back home. Okay.
9-3 now.
All right.
And we're the 3rd seed in the playoffs this weekend, so we're shaping up finally.
All right. So now, just before we talk a little bit more about your team, just give us an overall, what is your scope or your view about the Yorkville Eagles program this year? I mean, we've had some pretty good things going on. Here, we'll pull up the stats.
I think our teams have been doing pretty solid this year.
We did pretty good.
Especially in that tournament. My team, we didn't win 1 game, and all of our games were close. But when you looked at those other teams, they were all competing. Some were going 2-1, losing in the playoffs, losing a few people losing the championship. But you know what? I've been impressed so far.
Okay.
I think there's an excellent 8U team, excellent 9U team.
All right. Well, let's talk about that. In our 8U division, our 8U South team is 7-3. That's Bill Stanton's team, 7-3.
Oh, is Bill doing the 8s for 8U
that's
South?
Him. That's him. 8U South, 7-3.
South side repping it, man. That's awesome.
I was out at that game over the weekend. I was on Randall's Island over the weekend, and I watched the 8U South and the 11U South, and both the teams won. But they both were winning, looking really good.
Okay.
Looking really good.
So you saw 8U South and 11U South?
Yeah, both of those teams.
Both very good teams.
Looking good.
Very good teams.
Yeah, 11U South I see here is 6-4, so that's not too bad.
No, I mean that's been our, one of our strongest teams since I've been here for the past 2 years.
Yeah, that's Joe Valentin. Joe, keep up the good work.
Joe and Bobby, yep.
And our 9U division, we're not doing so bad either. 9U North, think about that. 8-2 for the 9U North team.
That's very impressive. We've got an 8U team at 7-3, 9U 8-2. Just keep it rolling. Let it keep going. Once you get on that roll, you're not overplaying. You're just playing baseball, and you're feeling good out there, feeling good as a team, and that's how it's done. You know, teams get hot and keep the hot streaks going.
Yeah, even in the 10U division, you're 7-3, but our 10U North team is 5-5, so they're 500.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't really expect that.
I didn't either.
I didn't, and guys, don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't. It's not that we're not rooting for you. It's not that I'm not rooting for you. But 5-5 with the way the team is made up and everything, I didn't expect that to be the number. I would have thought that you would have been a little under 5-5, wishing and hoping that you would be above 500, but 5-5 with the games that I saw and the way they panned out, at least the numbers, the scores in the games that you played, they're playing really good ball.
They are.
They're just not getting.
You know what? They've had a few people that have left that team, and the team has stayed together. And they have a few new kids on the team that are actually very solid players.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of gelling, getting everything together. Yep. Fall ball is when it usually gets started, and then hopefully by the spring, they'll spring to life and so on and so forth. But that's what I'm thinking anyway. I'm hoping that will happen for
fall is just a warm up, but I mean, got to take it seriously, and it's considered another season. Go out there and prep yourself for spring, but this is still a big deal as well.
Okay. All right, so let's go back the 12U team. So again, the 12U North team we're missing a number here. They're 5-4. So I believe that one of those games got rained out or something like that. But do you tell us about that team?
I really don't know that much about the 12U team because I've been practicing at the 109 facility. But this is a team that last year couldn't really put it together. But under a new coach, I think he's pushing these guys a lot harder. So it looks like the record is showing, and they've been playing good ball. So
just even for them to have a 5-4 record, even if they lost that last game, that's still 500, 5-5.
Yeah.
So that's a lot better than what we saw them do in the spring.
Yeah.
Our 13U team, you know who that is?
Yeah. They're always solid. So what are they, 9-0 and 1 tie right now? And they're coming in to swing out and train tonight. But this team's always been very good, very good.
And they haven't lost a game. That one tie, that's not a loss. They tied, And Bradshaw was telling me, he said it was a fluke. He says they've never tied a game, ever.
Really?
They've never
Tying
tied.
is tough in baseball because, it's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Baseball, you got a winner and a loser, It's not like soccer or some other sports.
And then our 14U team now, those are the big dogs. Those are the big guys. They're 3-6-1. 3-6-1. But I have to say, even in the losses, their 6 losses, none of them were really blowouts. They were very, very close. These guys play 60-90. For all intents and purposes, they're like high school guys getting ready to, start their baseball careers in high school, going into college, and so on and so forth. And it's tough up there with the big guys.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
Well, we have two new players on that team that are, they're big boys. You've seen them. One of them's about 6'3", and I know he's been throwing. At one point, he threw a one-hit shutout with like 14 or 15 strikeouts.
Nice.
He's a beast. And we've got a new guy that plays infield, and he's got a beautiful swing as a switch hitter. And, as these guys start to work together, I think in the spring they're going to be pretty solid.
Nice.
I do.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's the standings. Remember, the standings are minus our games from this Halloween, from the 31st of this Saturday, the 31st. We don't have those scores. We'll tell you about that later. When they come in, we'll get them here a little later, then we'll pop them up on the screen over our head. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was Clark Wright. Clark has been around for a while, but you know what? He hasn't been here. He's been out on the field with his team. He's been working out doing most of the swing outs with the boys here in the gym. And, hopefully we'll get him back after the playoffs is over. Maybe his team will come home victorious, as will all of our Yorkville teams come home victorious. But what we want to do right now is give you the scores and the rundown. Well, not so much the rundown, but the scores for last week, October 31st. It was Halloween that day.
on that Saturday, and our boys did pretty good. So let's start with our 8U South team. Our 8U South played on Randall's Island. They played YBNR. YBNR. They won their first game 5-4, and I was there for that game. It was pretty close, a nail biter. They won it in the final inning, the 6th inning. They came back and they got that run over to win the game. And in the second game, they won 13-5. So what did they do? They really put a hurting on those guys from YBNR. I don't know what YBNR stands for. It's an acronym for something. I can make something up, but it probably wouldn't be good to say it right here on the show. So then we're going to go over to our 8U North team. 8U North played the Ardley, the team from Ardley. In the first game, they lost 15-14. They lost 15-14 in that game. In fact, I was just told there wasn't a second game. It was a 9-inning game. They played 9 innings for the first time, I guess, for the first time. That was a long game for them, and they lost by 1 run. So now I just have to tell you that they put up 14 runs, but defense again, if the team scores 1 more run than you do, guys, you got to play you got to play defense. You got to work it out a little bit. But this is a new team. Remember, I'm surprised that they're playing as well for a new team. So, guys, listen up. Don't hold your heads down. Hold your head up. That's what the Eagles do. We hold our heads up, and we'll get them next time. Maybe we'll get them in the tournament, in the playoff tournament. All right. So here we go. So now we have the 9U South. 9U South played the team from Armonk. What is it? The IBM team. No, they played on IBM Field, and they played the team from Armonk. And they won both their games. They won the first game 12-1, and in the second game they won 17-0. 12-1, 17-0. That's putting the smack down on them. That's what I'm talking about. 9U South doing your thing. I don't know what those other guys were talking about. Maybe it was Halloween and they got scared. You know what I'm saying? They ran home. Anyway, our 9U North team, hey, they played Rybrook, and what did they do? 12-1 in the first game and 13-0 in the second game. 9Us are contagious. Both teams just put the Band-Aids on the guys. You know what? Those costumes, I've seen a couple of guys walking around here with bandages and broken arms, walking around here like they were zombies and all that kind of stuff. That was the teams from Armonk and Rybrook. That's who that was. I mean, those guys really put the hurt down on them. That's what I'm saying. So 9U South, 9U North getting it done. Good work, guys. Good work. So then we're going to go over to our 10U division, our 10U South team. That's Clark Wright's team. He was in the gym right now. They played the Wildcats on Volunteer Field. They were away. They actually went and traveled someplace. All right, and they won their first game. They won that first game 9-1. 9-1. And I have to tell you, Clark was telling us about that second game. That second game was really crazy. They won the second game 19-18, but not before some drama. And as you heard Clark tell us earlier, there was some drama in that game. So that's the game that they won 19-18 on a walk-off at the end of the game. Our 10U North team, they played Hillcrest. They played Hillcrest at Swartz Field. They were away too. They went away. They traveled away. And our 10U North, they lost both their games 15-7 and 13-7 in the first game and 15-3 in the second game. So that was close. They're scoring runs, but we're not shaking it up a little bit enough. So guys, just come on, do your thing. It's okay. Just play good baseball. It all comes around. What goes around comes around, and it comes out in the wash. Trust me. Get something dirty, get that dirt on you. You shake it out, you wash it out. It'll come. Right, so now we're going to move over to our 11U team. Our 11U South team played on Randall's Island. They played the Yorktown Warriors, and we were there for that game. And as I didn't say, if you look over our show over there on our big jumbotron over there, you'll see some of the highlights from both those games, the 8U South game and the 11U South game. We have some highlights rolling, so enjoy those highlights. And we had some highlights earlier. So anyway, they won both their games. The first game that I was there for, they won 8-3. And in the next game, it was a 28-3 victory. And what I understand, those were playoff games. So I think that's going to decide who actually goes in
at least the championship round coming up this weekend. So 11U South getting it done. That's Joe Valentine over there and those guys down there. Joe, good work this year. Good work, good job, guys. And our 11U North played the Yorktown Riders. Remember, the 11U South played the Yorktown Warriors. 11U North played the Yorktown Riders, and they lost their first game 9-3, 9-3 in the first game, and they redeemed themselves in the second game, and they won 10-8. 9-3 loss, 10-8 win. Okay, so I don't know how that sets the guys up for the playoff run that starts this weekend, but I hope you guys are in it. Get in it, win it, do your thing. All right, good job over there, 11U North. Our 12U team played out on Randall's Island. They were home. They played the TYA Titans. They won their first game 8-3 in the first game, and then the second game they won 12-3. So they only gave up 3 runs, 6 runs total for the day, and they put up 20 runs. So that's how you do it. They get 6, we get 20. 6-20, 26, something like that. Either way you shake it, we won. We put the smackdown on them. That was a game with playoff implications as well. So I hope these guys did just as good as all the other guys. And this weekend's championship picture is one that we're going to snap for you guys. So 12U South getting it done. 13U, that's Bradshaw. Hey, Brad, what's going on? Hey, Kenny. Those guys out there, they won both their games. They played out in Randall's Island. They were home. They played the New Rochelle Thunder. New Rochelle Thunder that had no thunder. They had no thunder. Thunder and light. I got struck by the thunder and lightning, but it wasn't by New Rochelle, as our 13U Eagles dropped New Rochelle in the first game 13-2 in the first game, and in the second game they won 6-2. So they put the hurting, the sticking to the licking on those 13U guys. And, it's all good. Those 13U Thunder just didn't have any thunder in them. Maybe a little lightning. Maybe they saw that lightning coming from us or something like that. Rounding out the field, this was our 14U. Our 14-year-old guys are in the gym right now. They played the DB Razorbacks. And they were away, so they played the DB Razorbacks away, and they lost a 9-inning game, 5-4. I mean, this has got to be close. And I do want you to understand, with the big dogs, these 14-year-old guys, 60-90, anything can happen. I mean, the team is a good team. They just need a break, 2 here and there. Play defense. Stop those 5 runs, guys. All right, so that's it. They lost their game 5-4, but nonetheless, these are our big guys. They represent us well. We have just a wonderful group of parents that are in here with them every week, and the guys go out there, win, lose, or draw. They go out and they have fun. So that's it. That's it for our rundown. We're going to give you a little bit more of Clark Wright's interview. We're going to slap that back on if it's not a part of this rotation. We'll put it up. We'll make it a special or something so that you'll get to hear everything that Clark was talking about before we close out. So that's it. We don't have the playoff picture as it's still being put together by the league. So when we do get it in, hopefully, maybe we'll get it by tomorrow. It's Thursday now. Maybe we'll get it by tomorrow, and we'll get it up to you. We'll try to get this out to you by tomorrow night, Thursday night, Friday night. If anything, we will have it for you Saturday morning. So if any one of you guys want to look at it Saturday morning, it'll be ready for you. Okay, so this is a wrap for me. Got to go, and we'll see you around. Remember, we're Eagles, and as Eagles, we fly higher than everybody else. We come down on teams without talents, and we grab them by the talents, and we shake them around and shake things up to bring about the best possible baseball here in New York City, on the Upper East Side, or anywhere in this country. That's the Yorkville Eagles. And if you want to hear more, you know what to do. Get on the phone. Call us 212-360-0022, or just get on the web and reach us at yyaa.org. Okay, so gotta go, guys. I'll see you next week.